Well, ask him if there's any prisoners in his family.
عندك أي أسرى في العائلة؟ عندك أسرى في عائلتك؟
عندي أسير محرر.
He has one previous, but
My
he's out
father
now.
and all my uncle.
All
Okay.
his family from his mother's side was in jail.
Was in jail. What did they do?
عندك فكرة إيش عملوا؟
ما فيش اللي مقاومة.
The resistance. Resistance. But what did they actually do? What did they? What was the actual
يعني
act?
كان في
ما فيش شيء يعني.
No, there's nothing particular.
No, just.
He doesn't know, doesn't want to say.
He doesn't want to say. Okay. You were in prison. No.
I am in
Yes.
prison, yes, many times.
Okay. What did you do?
Because I am living here, just this, prison. Because living behind the settlers.
How long were you in prison? How long?
6 months, every day prison, just one today. And it's like money problem. Look this.
No. 1 day or 6 months? What? What happened? Sorry, I don't know what that is. This is a scar from what?
The soldier.
From the soldiers.
Because I am living
In
here.
prison or before?
No prison here.
Here
Just
in the streets.
Saturday, yes.
Okay.
Because I am living here, every day have money problem.
So, but when you were in prison for 6 months,
Yes.
what did you do?
Nothing. Just to stay about the leave about the prison.
Just what? Sorry.
Just to stay about the prison.
Were you ever in jail?
Yes.
What were you in jail for?
Nothing because I go to my school in curfew.
Because you what?
I broke on the curfew.
You broke the curfew. What year was this?
When I was 14 years old.
Okay. What year was this?
89.
Okay. So first Intifada.
Yes.
And how long were you in jail?
5 months.
5 months. Okay. You didn't throw rocks or stones?
No way.
What was he in prison for?
ليش اعتقلوه؟
ليش اعتقلوني؟ لاني كنت طفل كانوا يجوا الشباب الاحتلال على المخيم يتحركش في الناس يقاتل الناس نواجه محجور عليهم.
When he was a children and the army Israeli go to the Jara zone, to their houses, to their land, he defend the Jara zone.
How? What did he do?
What did يعني إحجار؟
حجار.
Yes, by rocks.
نعم أطفال.
Yes, because he was a
كان عمره
children.
يعني صغير.
يعني كم؟
لما أخذوني كنت 17 سنة.
He was 17 years when he
17 years old.
Yeah.
طفل.
And what else? Other than rocks, what else did he do?
غير الإحجار إيش ثاني؟
بس.
No, nothing.
Ask him. Were you ever in jail?
هل كنت شي مرة بالسجن؟ نعم.
Oh, okay. What were you in jail for?
ليش كنت بالسجن؟
زمان 30 سنة تقريبا.
A long time ago, 30 years ago,
Okay.
the first Intifada.
Okay. What did you do?
شو عمل؟
Nothing. They take me in the street.
No, you did something. Obviously, you did something.
No.
You threw stones.
No.
No?
When you walk in the street, the soldiers see you. They told you make problems. They take
You didn't throw stones.
No.
You didn't. How long were you in prison for?
6 months.
Okay.
You were in Israeli prison. What were you in prison for?
I used to be a member of Hamas. During the second Intifada, my mission was to help people get out and get in Nablus when it was surrendered by the Israeli soldiers. I make some missions to help people how to get out and get in Nablus. I used to be a member of the underground fighters. During the
Fighters.
Second
Fighters.
Intifada.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and you got 15 years
Yeah.
for helping people go in and out.
For attacking the Israeli soldiers on checkpoints to help the Palestinian people. Yes.
Oh, how did you attack them? Explain that.
By weapon, by fire on them. No, it's okay for me because they judge me because of that.
Yeah,
15 years. I spent in the jail 15 years. Don't worry. I was right. Also, am I now? I'm right. I was right before, and am I right now? But my way is different now. Now I have to resist the Israeli occupation, but in another way, with my science, with my mentality, how to help people not to get how I was, because in this period, in this time, it's not useful.
First of all, do you have any prisoners in your family?
Yeah.
Okay, what were they in prison for?
Maybe they called him a terrorist. Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
That I don't know really. But there is a prisoner in the
Wait, you know what they did? You just don't want to say, or you don't know what they
I
did?
was a kid.
Ah, you were a kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was he in jail for?
إذا طبعا تقدر ما تجاوبش على السؤال أنت حر يعني. ليش كنت مسجون؟ ليش كنت مسجون؟
كيف؟
ليه كنت مسجون؟
عشان القضية الفلسطينية، عشان المسجد الأقصى، دافعنا عن البوابة.
Because of the Palestinian cause, he was in Al-Aqsa. He was from there, the Murabitin in Al-Aqsa.
The what?
There are the people who stay in Al-Aqsa to defend it.
Okay. And how long was he in jail?
يسأل لي إياه هذا السؤال بيحكي إن إحنا بنحب الطعن والدهس.
وشو اللي بحكي على أسئلة تيجي من
إيمان حجة الطفل الرضيعة اللي قتلوها أو محمد الضرة.
There was
شايف علي؟
a couple of infants were killed by the Israelis.
عائلة دوابشة.
Dawabshe
طفل
family.
دوابشة شو عمل من هذا يعني؟ هذا إرهابي.
Hold on. But wait, I have to get back to the core of this. How long was he in jail?
قديش قعد السجن؟
سنتين.
2 years.
And what did he do to be in jail?
He said that he was in Al-Aqsa, most defending the other area.
What does that mean? Did he
أنا
use...
أول مصاب كنت بانتفاضة القدس لما شارون فات على المسجد الأقصى.
He was one of the first people who got wounded in the first Intifada, second Intifada, sorry, when Ariel Sharon
Showing up to
the Haram Sheikh.
Haram Sharif. Okay. So people who were in jail, in Israeli jails, Palestinians, how... let's say they were in jail for 2 years or 5 years or whatever. What did they do?
They
What's the
probably
truth?
did something material.
Like, what does that mean?
They harmed someone or tried to help someone who harmed an Israeli.
You're talking about someone stabbing or shooting?
He
or...
helped, whether drive him, show him a location, something like that.
Something we would call a terrorist attack
Yeah.
on our side. Okay. So when they tell me...
If he did nothing, he will probably get 3 or 6 months maximum.
Okay.
That happens.
Nothing can include stone throwing?
Yeah.
Is that how you're defining nothing? Because
yeah.
nothing means I'm standing on the street and I'm the wrong guy.
Yeah, it happens.
That does happen.
It happens.
Okay.
It happens.
And then for stone throwing, what would an average person get?
Probably 6 months also.
Okay. But anyone over 6 months, you know they did something,
he did something material.
very violent.
Yeah.
By material, you mean something towards violence, whether it resulted in somebody getting killed or didn't. It's probably has to do with
At least put
length.
someone in danger.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody who's in jail for 15 years.
Yeah.
What do you think?
He probably killed 2 people.
Okay. Just want to get a sense. Thank you. Hold on. Can I record this?
4 years?
Okay,
4
sorry.
years.
Again, say your cousin was in jail for 4 years.
Yeah. He was for 4 years because they catch him before going to blow himself.
Can I speak to this guy? Like, seriously?
He's an atheist. This is the crazy thing.
Would you still want to kill people now? Or?
No.
Oh, please.
He
I
changed-
want to speak
he
to him.
completely
Thank
changed.
you. I don't want anyone killing each other.
I have
For
a
the
question.
record.
How
Hold
did
on. Wait. Let me just finish because I'm
He was
recording.
only 16 years old back then.
Please, sir.
Someone
Okay.
from Jihad Islami brainwashed him, to be honest.
That's a question.
How are the conditions? Yeah, do you
I
know?
asked him actually, Once he get back, he was a different guy, completely not the same one we knew him before. It took him like 3 to 4 months to.
No, what were the
get
conditions
accustomed. It was fine. He said it was fine.
Like, did he suffer? Was it like dirty? Was it?
He said no one
barbaric?
touched me even.
Really?
Food. He just said the truth about everything, and no one touched
shower,
me.
like
Everything,
conditions?
everything was fine. He said just in some days where there are some riots inside the
Raids inside the prison. Yeah,
inside
they're
the
checking
prison.
for whatever
So
contraband.
everyone will get the collective punishment, but in general it was fine.
Okay, that's good.
I've asked a couple of people so far about what did you do to get in prison, and they'll say things like because I was Palestinian, or I did nothing, or I was just the struggle. Why won't they tell me the truth? Why is nobody telling me exactly what they did?
Because most of them, when they get the listing of what they did in the court, there are things they did still is not mentioned in that list.
So they don't want to even. They don't
They
want
won't
to.
go back to jail again.
Okay.
So it makes sense.
That's the reason. I thought it because Palestinian society, they seem so proud of people who were in jail,
Yeah.
and
But
these people
without
stab
the camera,
people,
without
and
the camera, they might tell you the truth.
okay.
But with the camera, they will.
So
not
they're
tell you.
afraid that they might get recharged
Yeah,
because they actually did more than they even the Israelis
We
even knew
are
about.
obsessed that the Mossad or whatever you call it, the Shin Bet are always looking for us and looking for videos and.
Okay, between you, do people show off? Like, I stabbed a Jew. Do people show off? Do they phrase
He
it
will
that
not
way?
show off to the people, but there will be a general picture of revolutionist about him.
Okay.
So hero, a little bit of a hero.
A bit of hero.
But do people actually understand that he went out with a knife and he tried to stab someone, or he went to run someone over, or people understand that when they hear it? Everyone knows.
Yeah, everyone knows.
If you don't believe that these questions and answers are real, come here, join me. We'll go ask together. The most helpful thing that you guys can do with the Ask Project is to come here, rent a car, we'll drive around, and we'll ask your question. Any question is allowed.